If I want to add trees to my landscape, because I've heard that trees keep a landscape healthy.
Yes.
What zone are we in?
We are in zone 4, and that's our hardiness zone. And so the country is split up into different zone numbers, so people know, so they're not planting a tree that will not live in their zone. So the Twin Cities area here, our hardiest zone is zone number 4. So any plant that's labeled to be zone 4 will survive our winters here.
What about how having healthy trees increases the value of my landscape?
Having healthy trees, they are aesthetically more pleasing. They're growing at the rate they should be growing, and then also the leaves and needles are nice dark green colors or whatever colors they're supposed to be. Some trees have other colors besides green in their leaves, but it increases the aesthetic value, which increases your property value with nice healthy trees. What
are some of the great varieties for Minnesota's Zone 4?
We have a lot of great varieties that will grow here. It's always good to stick with native trees, and there are lots of native trees that grow well here that are beautiful trees. For example, we have the maple family, which are sugar maples and Norway maples and silver maples, and then also the oak family. Oaks are great trees, and we have our native white oaks and bur oaks, and then also bicolor oak, which transplants really well, and then also in the red oak family, our red oaks and our native pin oaks are great trees. Yes, birch trees do very well in Minnesota, plus they're a native tree. Then also our linden family, or basswood trees. If you hear basswood and linden, they are the same tree. And so they do very well here in Minnesota. And then hackberry is a very underutilized tree that does very well in Minnesota. But there are also a lot of new cultivars that do well. There are some new American elm varieties that are very resistant to Dutch elm disease that do well. The Princeton elm, the Valley Forge elm are great trees to plant now. And then also in the ornamental area, a lot of your crabapple trees and things like that are great. If you want color and flowers, are good. Japanese lilac trees do very well if you want flowering tree.
Is there a direction I should go if I'm particularly interested in value? Should I add more big trees or more flowering trees?
I would add a combination of both trees, because people, and it's good to have smaller ornamental trees and then also to have larger trees. What you want to try to stay away from is getting too many trees in the same variety or same genus. So if 90% of your trees are maple trees or oak trees, and you're planning on planting some other trees, you want to try to go to a different variety, just so you have some diversity in your landscape. That way, if a new insect comes in or a new disease, lots of insects and diseases are tree specific, and so you won't lose all of your trees. So it's always very good to have a diverse population of plants in your yard.
Should I make sure that you come out and prune and look at my landscape before I add trees so that I know what will actually fit?
Yes, definitely. Our arborists are very good at recommending different varieties of trees to plant, and then also seeing if there's any problems in your landscape as far as diseases or insects problems or trees that are under stress. We have very professional arborists that are very trained with bachelor's of science degrees in urban forestry and very knowledgeable.